Well, I can't really say that I went through an experience quite like that one, like you see in Torn Feelings, but I have seen friends and um, excuse me, and former classmates and people in general that have gone through a situation like that. So I wanted to make a movie that it hits home for many people that have gone through a situation like that or that's currently going through that right now. Because long distance relationships are very difficult to do, and it's it's very tough because there it could be both sides of the party or just one person in the relationship. They might get a job offer or they get accepted to a college or university that will be very far away. So it's always, I would say, is a common issue between a couple where a great opportunity is presented right in front of them, but at the same time they're not sure if they want to go through that process because they don't want to jeopardize the relationship. So I really wanted to do a movie that it's based on that particular topic. 500 Days of Summer is definitely one of my favorites. I definitely gotta have that for my collection. When Harry Met Sally, it's another one. It's a great written romance movie. Another movie that I feel like it's underrated in my opinion, it's Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. It's a great comedic romance movie. Starters, I always knew that I was gonna shoot in my apartment to begin with. It was an easy option. I always love to film in parks. I love, going to parks. I love nature. So I knew that for this particular film, I wanted to do it either in one or two parks, but thankfully for this movie, we shot it in two different parks. One of them, which was Riverbank Park in Harlem, and the other one was Central Park, which is possibly one of my favorites. And for the park scenes, it was we had to be careful because on those days, not really the Riverbank scene, but mostly the Central Park scene, it was a lot of sun that day. It was very bright, so we had to be very careful, how to shoot that particular scene, which was the ending of Torn Feelings. And for Felix and Alex scene, we were supposed to do it in a coffee shop, but that didn't work out. So we ended up shooting that particular scene in my godfather's house, and it all worked out for the best because I had time to prepare and do everything that I had to do in my godfather's house instead of a coffee shop. At least in my godfather's house, like I had that liberty, to work on the film and not worry about like that's it. It's a wrap. Even though I limit myself for 2 hours to shoot in my godfather's house, but I felt that sense of liberty shooting there way more than the coffee shop. Ended up shooting the movie in 5 separate days. The first day that we shot, we were supposed to do the riverbank scene, which is me basically looking at the view, reminiscing the conversation that I had with Diana. And the other scene that we were supposed to do but we didn't get to do was the scene between Felix and Alex, which was supposed to be in a coffee shop, but that didn't work out. So we left that for the last day, which was day 5. So day 1, we just ended up shooting the riverbank scene. And then, but out of all those days, the toughest scenes that we had to shoot was day 4, which was all in my apartment with Felix and Diana and Felix by itself. It was, and I know it's gonna be a shocker, like why was it tougher, to shoot in your apartment out of all those days that you shot? The reason it was tough because since it was the first time I shot a movie in my apartment, I didn't realize how much a factor the lighting was going to be. So as a director, I didn't really prepare myself how the lighting was gonna be a factor for the movie. And we went 2 hours overtime because we started off so late figuring out how to get the lighting to look great on camera. So, but we ended up working it out. My DP, which he had lighting in his car, he went to get it, and and it finally solved the problem. But that was day 4, which was in my apartment. It was the toughest day to shoot because of the lighting, and it was a very hot day. I think it was like 87, 90 degrees, and we couldn't have the AC on because the sound would affect it with the boom operator, and it was just not gonna be a great look. But that day was the toughest, most challenging day out of all the 5 days that we shot this movie. Oh yes, absolutely. For this part, for the feature film, well, the short film, it was only shot in New York, but for the feature film, I'm planning to shoot that here in New York and also in LA. Um, I would say that, I would love to get it started around in 2021 or 2022. I would like to get started. The upside is that I already know where to go with the story. So when the timing is right, I hope, crossing my fingers, I could start making the movie around 2021, 2022.